Ohio State's national title now seems inevitable as it's one win away from glory. Stephen means Arlington. Texas survive and advance hasn't been Ohio State's story so far in the college football playoff. Until now. The Buckeyes ran through the first two rounds like a buzzsaw, beating Texas and Oregon by a combined score of 83-38. It left some thinking they were destined to win a national title this season. Others were left wondering at what point would they regress back to the mean. Texas would make sure the latter happened in the Cotton Bowl, even if OSU is leaving Arlington with its season still alive. Ohio State was due for a test as a team playing angry and desperate following a fourth straight loss to Michigan. It had looked unstoppable in part because nobody had an answer for Jeremiah Smith, emerging as possibly the sport's most unstoppable force. But the Longhorns figured him out by telling the Buckeyes that anybody was allowed to beat them but Smith. They accepted that challenge despite constantly shooting themselves in the foot with penalties that set the offense back so many times it was practically impossible to establish anything. It found itself in the midst of a four-quarter game where it just needed somebody to make a play. Will Howard answer that call at the perfect moment on a 4th and 2 quarterback draw, even as he stumbled over himself on his way to a 16-yard run that kept a drive alive long enough for Quinshon Judkins to get his second rushing touchdown of the game? It had been a while since Ohio State had to win ugly. It had been an unstoppable machine on a warpath for 2 weeks, throwing early haymakers that no one had a plan for. Until Texas. The Longhorns had a plan, and it was to make college football's new bully on the schoolyard go the distance, and hope it was positioned well enough to land the final punch. It was good. But it wasn't enough. Jack Sawyer made sure of that with a strip sack scoop at 83 yards through the heart of Texas, just when it looked like Texas was ready to tie the game again. Maybe Marcus Freeman watched this game and made the necessary tweaks to it so that Notre Dame could finish the job that Steve Sarkisian couldn't. Or maybe this was the perfect way to punctuate that OSU is destined to be the last man standing in Atlanta. Copyright 2025 Advance Local Media, LLC. Visit cleveland.com. Distributed by Tribune Content Agency, LLC.